Hi, my name is Gala Porras-Kim, and I'm a Colombian visual artist working in Los Angeles. My project, The Mute Object and Ancient Stories of Today, is about the transmission and representation of Mesoamerican languages in the Isthmus of Tehuantepec. I will be linking undeciphered samples of Isthmian script carved in stone artifacts found at the bottom of the Papaloapan River and the current development of one of the standardized dictionaries of the Zapotec language in Oaxaca. I became interested in Oaxaca because it's one of the most linguistically diverse regions in the world, with over 17 different languages, including Zapotec. Zapotec is a tonal language and has been passed down orally for over 1,000 years, and it has over 50 different variants, each as different from one another as Italian is to French, but all of them have been defined as one. I had heard that because it's a tonal language, people used to translate it into a whistled form through using its tones as a way of descent and in order to communicate in secret during the time of the colony. I decided to learn Zapotec in order to make my own whistle translations, and after 2 years, I made this LP called Whistling and Language Transfiguration, using samples of recorded Zapotec narratives collected by linguists in Oaxaca and tracing their sound wave with whistle tones downloaded from YouTube. It sounds like this. I know what that's saying, so if you want to know, you can ask me later. The most important thing that I learned while making this record was the process of writing this tonal language. I began working with linguists at UCLA who developed the San Luc Quavini dictionary. This is one of the first contemporary written representations of the language made by Zapotec people. At this point, I wanted to know how a tonal language could be written down using the Latin alphabet. To me, this was so hard, like how do you spell or I went to Oaxaca to interview a group of linguists who were developing a standardized dictionary, editing together a group of over 20 variants into one. I wanted to see the editing process and how they chose the words that would make it into the dictionary. For example, if you have 6 different versions of the word red, how do you decide which one to pick? They argued for the most descriptive version and the most popular version and even the most beautiful sounding one, but to me, these were all very impossible decisions to make. In Mexico City, I went around asking different people in Oaxacan community how they thought the words should be spelled. I worked with some business owners to translate their existing Spanish signage into what they thought could be the way of spelling them in Zapotec. Together, we made these new versions of their signs. The first time Zapotec was represented with a Latin alphabet was by the Spanish Franciscan friars in the 16th century, who sort of made a version from the sounds that they heard people making. But the last time it was written down by the people from Oaxaca was 1,000 years earlier in 500 BCE on tablets and artifacts carved out of a stone found in Monte Alban, making it one of the earliest samples of Mesoamerican writing. These tablets, along with others found along the Papaloapan River, are still undeciphered, although there have been many tries to do so. The river runs through Oaxaca and Veracruz into the Gulf of Mexico and is one of the most polluted rivers in the world, which has probably contributed to the deterioration of artifacts in it. For my project, I will travel to this river to collect potential artifacts near the sites where these objects have been found and invite communities to recodify these undeciphered symbols. Then we will create a dictionary that will be an alternate or supplemental version to the one being made. I will also make an underwater video of the riverbed that will sort of look like this draft I made in my bathtub. My project considers these 2 moments that a language has existed in a written form. the ancient artifacts with undeciphered Mesoamerican script, and the current development of a written dictionary in Oaxaca, through an object-based ethnography that reflects on indigenous rights and the production of meaning. I will develop an open system of interpreting artifacts containing undeciphered writing systems and will invite the viewer to language abstraction through recodification and engagement. The project will highlight the successes and failures of attempting to decipher a language and how mute objects such as these inaccessible artifacts can be used to provide content for a new dictionary. The project will undertake the task of search, discovery, dissemination, and decipherment to the extent possible, and will result in utilitarian sculptures for research, a video installation, a book, a dictionary, and potential discovery of invaluable artifacts. What I need is more access to specific archaeological sites along the Papalhuapan River, access to publishers for the book and the dictionary, and venues in Latin America, hopefully in Mexico, to present the completed project. Thank you.